Once upon a time in a quaint little village, there lived a diligent and hard-working farmer named John. He was known far and wide for his expertise in cultivating the most abundant and vibrant crops. John's farm was nestled beside a vast stretch of fertile land, surrounded by picturesque hills and meadows. However, there was one peculiar aspect of John's farm that everyone in the village found intriguing. Right in the middle of his farm stood an ancient stone wall. It was a tall and sturdy wall, covered in vines and moss, and it extended from one end of the farm to the other. Nobody knew the history behind the wall, but it had been there for as long as anyone could remember. The wall didn't seem to serve any purpose anymore, but John respected it as part of the land's heritage. Every year, he would carefully plant his crops around the wall, making sure not to disturb it in any way. Despite the odd obstacle in the middle, John's farm flourished, and he reaped bountiful harvests year after year. One day, a group of curious travelers passing through the village noticed the peculiar wall in the middle of the farm. They approached John with curiosity and asked him about it. "Why don't you tear down that old wall in the middle of your farm, good sir?" one of the travelers inquired. John smiled warmly and replied, "This wall has been here long before I was born, and it's part of the history of this land. I believe it holds a story of its own, and I see no reason to disturb it. Nature seems to have accepted its presence, and so have I." The travelers found his response intriguing but respected his decision. They bid farewell to John and continued on their journey. As time passed, the village faced various challenges, including harsh weather, pests, and even occasional floods. However, John's farm seemed remarkably resilient, thriving despite all odds. People in the village attributed his success to his dedication and his ability to work in harmony with nature. One year, a particularly severe storm struck the region, leaving many farms devastated. But when the villagers reached John's farm, they were astonished to find it relatively unscathed. They noticed that the ancient wall had acted as a natural barrier, protecting a significant portion of John's crops from the worst of the storm's fury. News of John's protected crops spread throughout the village, and people started to appreciate the value of the old wall. They began to believe that there might be some magic or blessing behind it, which shielded the farm from disaster. Over time, the village developed a tradition of honoring the wall on the day the harvest season began. They would gather near the wall, express gratitude for the protection it provided, and celebrate John's farm as a symbol of resilience and harmony with nature. As the years passed, the wall became a cherished part of the village's history and culture. John's farm continued to thrive, and he became a respected figure not just for his agricultural skills but also for his wisdom and reverence for the land. And so, the tale of the farmer and the wall spread far beyond the village, inspiring others to cherish the land they cultivated and to appreciate the mysteries and wonders that nature often brought forth. The ancient wall, once an enigma, became a symbol of the profound connection between humankind and the land they call home.